Magalie, a hobby cosplayer from Germany, here to take my next steps on my custom costume making adventure. So in the last video, I made a pattern for the dress I'm going to make. You can go check that out. And next, of course, I'm going to need some fabric. That fits pretty well because I'm actually going to visit my mother in France for several weeks, and I always buy my fabrics there. So that should work out fine. So the next thing I guess I'll need to do is head over there. Cue the travel montage.
As I left Leipzig very early in the morning, I drove through a magical winter wonderland. After arriving in France, I was surprised by how warm it suddenly was. In fact, the whole time I was there was so warm during the day, I was actually able to walk barefoot most of the time. I spent several weeks in France and decided to get the fabrics a few days before going back to Germany. For me, the best place to buy fabrics is Marché Saint-Pierre Dreyfus, a huge store with several floors full of uncountable amounts of fabrics. It is located in northern Paris in the 18th arrondissement. The whole area is filled with all sorts of different fabric stores, and one can spend hours going through all of them. To tackle this monster of overwhelming fabrics and undecidedness that often befalls me when going to this area, I enlisted the help of my best friend Vera. She is a fellow sewing and cosplay enthusiast and can hopefully help me when making my impossible fabric choices. My mother kindly offered to drive us into Paris, so we made our way through the busy traffic of the city. After parking the car at the Gare du Nord, we made the rest of our little journey by foot. Finally, we arrived at the Rue d'Orsay. We decided to first go into the Coupon de Saint-Pierre on the other side of Dreyfus to see if we found any discounted fabrics that match what we were looking for. We also checked out the store that is next to it, which is called Rennes. This one is a bit more fancy, but I actually don't like it as much as Dreyfus, and we didn't really find anything there. Afterwards, we made our way over to Dreyfus. It's always just so amazing to see all of these beautiful and interesting fabrics. There are just so many things you could do with them. The store is arranged in several floors that each have a different theme and fabric collection. We were looking for a blue flower pattern cotton fabric for the hems of the dress and a shiny cotton or silk fabric for the main part. The first fabric that caught my eye was this gorgeous Japanese cotton fabric with golden flowers that completely matched the picture I had in my mind. We decided to first check out all of the fabrics before making any final decisions. So we went up the staircase and onto the other floors. When making costumes, I like to use as many natural materials as possible. I thought a pretty soft cotton fabric in the right color would do the trick, but as soon as I saw the silk fabrics, that kind of changed. I just couldn't ignore that the natural shine of the silk fabric matched the shine in the original artwork, and the colors were just so much more vibrant than any cotton fabric I'd seen yet. Especially this fabric had caught my eye the last time I was here. I think subconsciously I had this fabric in my mind when deciding on making my own version of the costume pink. We actually found another similar silk fabric at the very top floor, which had a dark color, which I thought was a bit prettier. While making our way to the last floor that is located in the basement of the store, I tried to make some quick calculations of how much fabric I would need and what each of them would cost. The last floor is more of a collection of all the fabrics you could find upstairs. There we found this very soft blue and brown fabric that kind of had similar vibes to the Japanese one we had seen earlier, but it was a lot thinner and of course less expensive. We made our way back upstairs to try and decide which fabric to buy. This was such a hard decision for me, and I swear, without Vera there with me, I would probably still be standing there. We discussed the disadvantages and advantages of each fabric, and even tried to play rock, paper, scissors to decide which one to choose. This failed, however, as we both used the same thing 6 times in a row. Finally, we managed to make a decision. Even though the darker fabric had a bit of a prettier color and was less expensive, it was just a little too stiff. There was no guarantee that it would flow the way I would want it to. Plus, the other one had kind of been my inspiration for the costume for months. And so we had made our decision. Oui, elle est très belle. Ah, une robe comme ça. Oh. Oui, parce
que la matière, elle est belle, hein.
Oui.
Ah bah oui, c'est une belle matière, hein. Ça, c'est pas la soie quand même. Ah oui, il faut payer à chaque étage. Ah ok.
Our time was rapidly running out now, and we rushed downstairs again to buy the Japanese fabric from the beginning. My budget was now pretty stressed as I had bought the expensive silk fabric. We decided to only take the absolute minimum of the blue and gold fabric, as it was expensive as well. We then bought a lot of the blue and brown fabric as it was inexpensive, and I knew that I wouldn't have enough of the blue and golden one for the obi. And with that, we made our way back for Paris, finishing this adventure. We were kind of tired and stressed, but also very happy about the fabrics we found. I really must say, without my friend Vera, I would have never made it back in time. And I would have probably also started crying right there because I'm really bad at decision making. She was just so cool and so supportive. Vera, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for always doing stuff like this with me. Here are some proper photos of the fabrics.
Oh wow. Okay, so now, after a few weeks, I finally have my fabrics. So, yeah, that was it for this episode. It was actually really hard to film while shopping, while only having like a small amount of time. So I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of footage of me actually like discussing which fabric I want to buy. But still, it was fun taking you guys along, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. I would be super happy about that. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, goodbye!